Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman of the Football History Dude podcast, and I'm stopping by this show real quick to tell you about a couple of cool giveaways that we have going on here at the network. Both are autographed books covering various topics of the NFL. The first is The Point After: How One Resilient Kicker Learned There Is More to Life Than the NFL by ex-NFL kicker Sean Conley. It goes over his unique experience as a walk-on kicker at the University of Pitt after never playing high school football. And then it gets into some of his time playing for NFL teams and so much more beyond the gridiron. The other is from author Kevin Bryant. His book is titled Spies on the Sidelines: The High-Stakes World of NFL Espionage. This book started as a curiosity, kind of a passion project to understand everything revolving around, well, Spygate. But this put Kevin down a rabbit hole learning about all sorts of espionage that has occurred throughout the history of the NFL. Both permissible and often the illicit techniques of gathering intel to try to impact the outcome of the game. To sign up for your chance to win an autographed copy of one of these books, all you gotta do is head over to sportshistorynetwork.com/giveaways and sign up. That's sportshistorynetwork.com/giveaways. Again, check out all the other podcasts that we have in the Sports History Network as well. But now, back to your regularly scheduled journey to the sports history timeline.
In this episode of the Legends of Football History, we discuss the football career of one Don Hutson and his impact on the college and the professional game and the way that they're played today. It's all coming up in his story in just a moment.
This is the Pigskin Daily History Dispatch, a podcast that covers the anniversaries of American football events throughout history on a day-to-day basis. Your host, Darren Hayes, is podcasting from America's North Shore to bring you the memories of the gridiron, one day at a time. So as we come out of the tunnel of the Sports History Network, let's take the field and go no huddle through the portal of positive gridiron history with pigskindispatch.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, my football friends. This is Darren Hayes of pigskindispatch.com. Welcome once again to the Pigpen, your portal to positive football history. And as we look in that portal today, we're going to talk about another one of the great Pro Football Hall of Famers, and actually a College Football Hall of Famer as well, the great wide receiver end Don Hutson. He was born on January 31st, 1913 in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and the legendary football end is celebrated as one of the finest offensive pass catchers of all time and really helped establish the end position as a viable weapon in the offensive arsenal. He grew up in Arkansas and became a terrific athlete, and a few different sports at Pine Bluff High School were played by Don Hutson. He was playing not only football, but he was playing baseball and track and field as well. But during his senior season of high school, he limited himself to only playing football, concentrating on one sport. And in 1931, a teammate, Bob Sewall, was recruited by the University of Alabama and convinced his buddy, Don Hutson, to go with him to Tuscaloosa. Hutson was almost immediately signed to a baseball scholarship of all things and played center field for the Tide. He also joined the track team, competing in the 100 and 220-yard distances. In addition to competing in those sports, Hutson then went after his real passion, and he walked on to the school's football team as a freshman. Initially, his small size at 6'1", 160 pounds really concerned the coaching staff. However, when they saw his performance on the track team, including a reported 9.7-second finish in a 100-yard dash, they knew this man could run like the wind. So he ended up earning himself on a spot on the roster. Now, the footballfoundation.org site tells how with great route running and elusive speed and smarts, Don Hutson set the standard for pass receivers to come. Now, his teammate in 1934 was the legendary Paul Bear Bryant, who actually played on the other end of the line. Don Hutson was on one end, he was on the other end, and who once noted that Hutson was such a standout that Bryant later joked that he was known as the other end, Bear Bryant was, during his time as a player. He was also known as the Alabama Antelope, was Hutson, and he hauled in 6 passes for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns in Alabama's 29-13 victory over Stanford in the Rose Bowl that year. Don was an All-American selection in 1934, and that season was brilliant by Hutson as he played signature games, such as when he scored the winning touchdown on a 9-yard end-around play against Tennessee for a 13-6 tied victory. The Clemson game that year, he caught 6 passes and scored 2 touchdowns. And the National Football Foundation placed Don Hutson into their inaugural College Football Hall of Fame class in 1951. Now, Hutson stood 6 foot 1 inches tall and weighed 183 pounds when he graduated, and he was sort of an oddball size to be going into professional football. Well, what's this skinny guy going to be able to do to help an offense? Teams ask themselves. Surely he can't keep a charging defensive end at bay for very long. And what could he do was run, and he run very fast is what he could do. That 9.717 seconds on the 100-yard dash certainly helps out things. So he could outrun every single defender in the game of football at the time. The other thing he could do was run set passing routes. Many gave Hutson credit for creating the route trees that we celebrate as a fundamental in today's passing game. After leaving Alabama, Hutson joined the Green Bay Packers and played 11 seasons with the Pack, and he was an All-Pro 9 times, even leading the league in pass receptions 8 different times as he led the league in scoring 5 different years. And simply do not do these things. The Green Bay Packers exposed defenses by using his speed, skill, and maneuvering of a little guy, and it worked, and eventually everyone copied the format. This really opened up football not to just be a game of big brutes, but also to have the room for the talented Slater-built guys that are really fast as well. One of his crowning accomplishments on the gridiron was to be named the NFL's most valuable player in 2 different seasons. He finished his pro career with 7,991 yards on 488 pass receptions. And Don Hutson had no trouble gaining entrance into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1963 for their inaugural class. In July 22, 1943, article found at this day's edition of the Harrisburg Telegraph in Pennsylvania, the article stated that the Green Bay Packers star Don Hutson confirmed that he would not be returning to the NFL to play in the upcoming season of that 1943 year, after setting 16 different records the prior year. Speculation was that Hutson made his decision to retire after his quarterback, Cecil Isbell of the Packers, announced that he was leaving the pro circuit to coach at Purdue. Hutson refuted these claims and said that his decision to leave the playing field was made long before Isbell's. Now, despite these reports, the Alabama Antelope played all the way through the 1945 season. He did come back and play, and we will assume that the war effort limiting the amount of pro players available in a persuasive manner of one coach, Curly Lambeau, could have helped sway Hutson to return to the Packers. Now, during his time with the team, the Packers had won 3 NFL championships and 4 Western Division championships. Hutson held 18 major NFL receiving records when he retired in 1945, and his career total of 99 touchdowns would stand as an NFL record for more than 4 decades. After hanging up his helmet for the last time, Hutson would stay on with the Packers as an assistant coach until 1948. In 1950, he had a career path change when he moved to Racine, Wisconsin, where he opened a pair of car dealerships. He retired in 1984 from the car industry and moved to Rancho Mirage, California, where he passed away on June 26, 1997. What a great life he lived. It's no wonder that this amazing man was a charter member of both the College Football and Pro Football Hall of Fames. So glad we could share this little bit of history with you. Don Hutson, the great Hall of Famer in 2 different Halls of Fame for football, and what an athlete he was to be able to run, a 9.7 100-yard dash. That's flying in any era. Pretty quick man as well. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope you join us back each and every day for more great football history. Until tomorrow, everybody, have a great gridiron day. That's all the football history we have today, folks. Join us back tomorrow for more of your football history. We invite you to check out our website, PigskinDispatch.com, not only to see the daily football history, but to experience positive football with our many articles on the good people of the game, as well as our own football comic strip, Cleat Marks Comics. PigskinDispatch.com is also on social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel to get all of your positive football news and history. Special thanks to the talents of Mike and Gene Monroe, as well as Jason Neff for letting us use their music during our broadcast.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network. your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
It was just another ordinary day in the offices of the Pittsburgh Guardian newspaper circa 1924. But for Marla Delft, assistant editor, everything was about to change. For she was about to discover the awesome attractiveness of Row 1 brand retro sports paraphernalia items thanks to Orville Mulligan, sports writer.
And there it is.
Wow, Orville, that's really the bee's knees.
Isn't it just? A poster-sized replica of the actual 1909 World Series program cover.
I can see that. But where did you get it? And where'd you get it framed?
I ordered it from the Row 1 website, where over 6,000 items of sports memorabilia from the 1880s to the 1990s are available for reproduction, in multiple sizes and in several different materials, with over a dozen styles of frame to choose from for prints like this.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Delft would love to put up more of these in the office. But I'm equally as sure they're beyond this newspaper's budget.
Not at all, my dear Marla. See for yourself. Go to sportshistorynetwork.com/row1.
sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. Oh my, these are good prices. Oh, and look at this stuff. Oklahoma-Nebraska football, college basketball art, Michael Jordan items.
And so
retro
it was that
sports
Marla Delft
advertisement
discovered the
placards.
splendiferous magic of Row 1 sports memorabilia, arts, and prints. You can too by visiting sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. That's ROW1 today for access to the full Row 1 catalog of gallery prints and gifts like t-shirts, long-sleeve shirts, telephone cases, coffee mugs, blankets, pillows, towels, and even shower curtains. Act today for 15% discount off all prints with coupon code SHN15 and 20% off all other items with coupon code SHN20 at checkout. And keep your dial locked to the Sports History Network for the exciting chronicles of the 1920 sports world in Orville Mulligan, sports writer. Coming soon.